Moi! Hyvää uutta vuotta kaikille. Happy New Year, everybody. How are you all doing? It's been a little while. We had a couple weeks off, but or is it only 1 week off in between? I don't know. I feel like it was 2 weeks. But yeah, good to see you guys back here in chat. Poyu, JF, Lorelei. Hope all is going well. Hope your New Year's are starting off well. Let me know in the chat if you made any resolutions. What are your New Year's resolutions? But yeah. And Lorelei, you just got to the stream when Discord, I guess, sent you a reminder? And, okay, that's good. The announcements channel now sends notifications to your phone. I wonder, is that a change with Discord or maybe with your phone? Maybe they updated the app. I don't really use Discord. I kind of feel like I'm at a stage where I'm trying to push away all of the messaging apps and every possible, all the possible ways in which you can get interrupted and contacted. It's not always a good thing. Or I like having, I don't know, uninterrupted periods in my day. So I do feel a little bad because if you guys posted on Discord or messaged me out there, I wouldn't see it until a bit later. So maybe that's kind of a bad thing. If so, there was like an important thing I needed to do, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, and the Salko Uti set is not recent. They took a break. And so I've been going through these old ones. I didn't practice every day over the holiday. So I was watching these the past few days. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I've seen this one. Is this the F-35? This looks interesting. Let's click on that. Yeah. All right. I'm like really tired. Do you ever just have that exhaustion hit you all at once? I think it's like coming back. I had a really good time in the US. 3 weeks just flew by. And but now I'm like trying to get back into my routine here, and I'm just really tired. I'm not used to it. I also feel like I never properly recovered from jet lag. Like it's still really difficult for me to like fall asleep. And it's been like a week now. And so I'm struggling. But I'll get there. But yeah. The news is terrible today, 27. There's a lot of terrible news. But yeah. Also, I try to limit the amount of news I consume because that can quickly escalate your anxiety and whatnot. But actually, speaking of anxiety, the other day I started playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I don't know if you guys ever played this, but for me, Vice City was like the best game when I was in high school. It was so much fun. And so I've been replaying it a bit, and it's hilarious. It still holds up in a lot of ways. So yeah, I'm playing through Vice City. I might play San Andreas. I probably will play San Andreas at some point. The problem is I have so many other games on my docket. I want to play other games too, not just replay the old games. But yeah. I feel like I'm losing my voice suddenly. Um, Also, other updates for you guys. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been playing a lot of Stardew. We did 3 days in a row of Stardew Valley, something like that. We had so much fun. So if you aren't following the Stardew Valley Granny Challenge, you're missing out. Is all I'm trying to say. It's we are progressing and it's fun. We are almost at Marnie's birthday, and if you know anything about the playthrough, Marnie is like, I mean, she's the most evil person. All right, it's just part of the lore. We have a lot of lore in the game, so you can join for that. But I should not ramble for too long because we should try to learn some Finnish. We should try to learn some Finnish. And one of my resolutions has been to practice Finnish for like an hour every day and to actually like speak Finnish, not just, you know, when it's like you just practice in the least effort possible, or it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's sort of like I just do the same thing over and over. You know, I read the Selkothi said, I don't really pay too much attention. But now I'm like really trying to force myself to like repeat back what I learned. So that if I read, you know, a section of Selko, then I will try to say like, oh, that, you know, whatever, I learned about this or that, or and I'll try to remember some of the sentences of what was in the news, right? But yeah, yay on my resolution, Lorelai. You like that? I might be able to get through the exam this year. I know. That is another goal. I'm still kind of figuring out which resolutions I really want to commit to. Like, I'm the kind of person, I have lots of potential resolutions, but there's just too many things to do in life that it's not wise to make like 15 New Year's resolutions. You know what I mean? I got these new headphones and there's a clip on there I had to take off. Okay. Let's just read it. Let's not listen to. I don't know. Maybe we should listen to it. Let's do that. Why not? Also, because I clicked on it because I want to see the F-35. I think it was F-35, right?
Nyt uutisia helpolla suomen kielellä. Hyvää päivää. Aluksi Euroopan puolustuksesta. Itäiset unionin maat haluavat tiivistää yhteistyötä Venäjän uhkaa vastaan. Suomen pääministeri Petteri Orpo kutsui maiden johtajat Helsinkiin. Orpo sanoi, että Suomi ja Puola koordinoivat EUn itäisten maiden puolustushankkeita.
You think they have enough lights on it? Like, I don't know. There's something about the presentation that looks kind of funny. Like, this is a weapon, right? But it's lit up like a rock star.
Samaan aikaan Suomi saa uusia hävittäjiä. Suomen ensimmäinen F-35-hävittäjä on esitelty USAssa Teksasissa.
From
Koneet
Texas.
saapuvat Suomeen vuoden kuluttua. Suomi päätti jo
vuonna
2021 ostaa 64 monitoimihävittäjää USAsta. Hankkeen kokonaisarvo on noin 10 miljardia euroa. Teksasissa oli myös puolustusministeri Antti Häkkänen.
Oh, wait a second. So all of these lights. Okay, this makes more sense now. It wasn't like the Finnish defense forces that put all these lights up. They're in Texas. And so it's the Americans that did it. Yeah. Obviously we would. I mean, we made the movies Top Gun, right? Obviously we would get spotlights and like, I don't know, like a pop star.
Hän sanoi, että hävittäjäratkaisu on onnistunut.
Actually, okay, let's pause there because let's just do it one section at a time. There are things like monitoimihalli for monitoimi. Now, what is monitoimi? I don't know. I feel like toimi is like work, right? Moni typically means many. So that's why I'm confused. Monitoimi. Like many work or like multi-work. But let's see here. Itäisen EUn puolustus ja Suomen hävittäjät. Is this Eastern? I feel like, was there also Itämeri? Because isn't Itämeri the Baltic Sea? And so I was like pausing here, but Eastern European Union defense and Finland's, is this fighters? Like the fighter jets? Hävittäjä. Like a fighter. Let's see. Yeah, fighter jets. Okay, Eastern EU defense and Finnish fighter jets. Puolustus. EUn. EUn. Wait, you say it like with long vowel sounds. Man, you guys are crazy. EUn. EUn. Aluksi Euroopan puolustuksesta. That is a tongue twister for me for some reason. Puolustuksesta. But yeah, the first the news about Europe's defense, right? Itäiset unionin maat haluavat tiivistää. I don't know that. Yhteistyötä. I should know that, but I don't. Venäjän uhkaa vastaan. So it's like against the threat of Russia. The countries, the unions, the Eastern European Union's countries? It doesn't say European. That's why it's like in English, it sounds weird if you say the Eastern Union's countries. Or is it more like the Union's Eastern countries? It's different for some reason. The Union's Eastern countries want something against the threat of Russia, right? So let's hold on. Eastern European Union countries want to strengthen cooperation. Okay. So tiivistää is to strengthen. Tiivistän, I strengthen. Maat haluavat tiivistää yhteistyötä. Okay, now I do recognize this word, but now that I know I've seen that word before. Yeah, hävittäjä is a fighter as in an airplane, or a destroyer as in a Navy ship. Okay, has multiple meanings depending on the air or sea context. Suomen pääministeri Petteri Orpo kutsui maiden johtajat Helsinkiin. Finland's foreign minister Petteri Orpo kutsui What? Oh, wait, hold on. I should know this, but like kutsua. No, I don't know. I'm disgust. That's my best guess. And this is countries plural. Uh, part part not partitive. What is it? Possessive. Maiden johtajat, leaders to Helsinki. So okay, obviously he didn't discuss. It's like he called for them or invited. Invited, is that the word? Yeah, the together work. Yeah, työ, this part, ty is work. And then the yhteis means together. The together work. And the tä is the partitive ending. Yeah. Um, oh, did I say foreign minister? This is just the prime minister, right? The literally the head minister, the prime minister. Thanks for catching that, JF. Yeah, Finnish Prime Minister Petteri Orpo invited the leaders of the countries to Helsinki. All right. Orpo sanoi, että Suomi ja Puola koordinoivat EUn itäisten maiden puolustushankkeita. So Orpo said that Finland and Poland coordinated, past tense, the European Union's they coordinated the defense something. I don't know what hankkeita means, but some aspect of the defense for the eastern countries of the European Union. Let's see here. The defense projects. Okay. Yeah. Oh, they are coordinating. I thought it was past tense. I mean, why would you have an I in the verb if it wasn't past tense? Oh, Lorelai, you're saying it's both. It could be ongoing or past tense. Okay. I mean, it would make sense that it is ongoing. Like, contextually, it seems to make more sense that it would be an ongoing coordination and not something that is over. But yeah. Samaan aikaan Suomi saa uusia hävittäjiä. Words like this just should not occur. How is it that you've got 4 letters and 2, 4, 6 dots? All right, in a row. There should not, it's 1 dot per letter, okay? Look, I mean, the number of dots doesn't really matter. But still, this is a difficult thing to say. Yeah. Because if it was just yeah versus yeah, or is there a difference? Maybe you Finnish people are at home right now saying it out loud, like yeah, yeah, yeah. I just think that if you have the J in there, it needs a little extra yeah to it, you know? It needs to have that Jesus. You got to hit that yeah sound in Jesus. Yeah. Jay. That's my reference. I don't know what your reference point is, but growing up in the Bible Belt, praise Jesus. Aya is an old man, 27. But yeah, this is plural. The fighters. So yeah, at the same time, Finland got new fighter jets. Suomen ensimmäinen F-35? I mean, I wonder, do you just translate it directly where you're like F-35 hävittäjä on esitelty USAssa, Texasissa? Look, don't blame me for not remembering the name of my own country, because every time I see it written in Finnish, it's like this, USA. Nobody says, what is it? How do you say United? The United States. I don't even. Why do I feel like it's Uri? No. Look, don't worry about it. It's neither here nor there. Yeah, as long as I don't mix it up with Switzerland, I'm good. Slash Austria. But yeah. But anyways, what is this? Finland's first F-35 fighter jets esitelty. Does this mean that they have been presented? And that would make sense with what's in the video, that they're I mean, they're really presenting them. I mean, I guess how much does an F-35 cost? It's like 100 million euros or maybe more, I don't know. They better have some freaking spotlights on it, you know what I mean? They're gonna make that plane look like the sexiest thing that ever existed. The overpowers is what you tried to say. I don't even know what I was saying. But yeah. So, anyways, it was presented in Texas in the USA. Koneet saapuvat Suomen vuoden kuluttua. The machines. I should know this, but I forget this. Saapua. Not to be confused with saipua, which is like to wash or to use soap or something, right? Saipu. Doesn't that mean soap? The words from the Finnish language just exist in an ether in my brain. Like I know if they're there, but whether or not they're connected to any meaning is another question. The connections are very loose, and it's like a tangle of chords. Gotta untangle it. Yhdysvallat. Thank you, TB. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's 80 million per F-35. That is expensive. But for some reason, I thought they would cost more than that. I feel like 80 million isn't that much money when you consider everything that goes into like the jet engines and the advanced, like, you know, like weapons technology and everything. I feel like it would be more. But 80 million is still a lot. Ylivalta or such. Okay, yeah. Yeah, is that what I said before? Ylivalta? Yeah. Saipua is a soap. Saipuoida is that like to soap up something, to lather up soap? But anyway, so the machines are something, they're maybe being delivered to Finland during the year, or why do I feel like kuluttua means during, or like I'm trying to remember, where did I come across this word? I thought I knew this word, but it has to do, is it like during next year? Something. Okay, well let's check this paragraph. So yeah, at the same time, Finland is getting new fighter jets. Did I get that right? Yeah, I did. Finland's first F-35 fighter jet has been unveiled in Texas, the US. Oh, it has been unveiled. I thought it just meant it was presented. Esitelty. But I guess it would make more sense. At least the video seems to be more of an unveiling than just a simple presentation, right? A coronation of the fighter jet. Oh, I started saying Uli. Yeah. The whole order was about 10 billion euros. Wow. After the year has been spent. Kulutettu. Wait. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. The planes will arrive in Finland in a year. In a year. I'm going to look this up again. So, yeah, in or after a period from now. Okay. I know I looked this up recently, like less than a week ago. I know I've this is in my browser history for sure within the past few days. That's why I'm frustrated I couldn't remember the exact nuance here. Um okay, there we go. Wait. Oh yeah, the planes. So kone can mean generally a machine. That's why like the elevators in Finland are made by a company called Kone, or I guess that's the main elevator company in Finland. You wouldn't want your elevator to start flying though. That would be a different kind of Kone. But in this context, it can mean a plane. And I think I've come across that usage before. Kone meaning plane and not just because like I don't know, I wouldn't really call a plane a machine. Or why does that sound weird to me? Like, of course a plane is a machine categorically, but it would be very odd to be talking about planes and then to say the machines will be delivered. It's like it would sound like you're almost talking maybe about something else. But yeah, the machines, the planes, the planes, and sapua mean to arrive. Ah, okay. Let's look that up. Sapua, to arrive. And just to confuse you a little further, you can also then change it to savumme. We will arrive. Kohta Turkuun. Soon in Turku. Turku is one of those cities that's weird to talk about in English because I'm I'm not used to trying to say it in the English way as like Turku. Because like Helsinki, you don't have to worry about it sounding weird. It sounds almost the same in English. Sometimes people will say Helsinki with the emphasis on the second syllable, but that's small. But this, Turku, that sounds, I mean, I sound like George Bush when I say it like that. Turku. We're selling the F-35 fighter jets to Turku, Finland. But yeah, kone as in lentokone. That's right. That's the word for a plane. Lentokone. And an F-35 is sophisticated. It is a lentotietokone. I actually understood that, Poyu. Thank you for that joke. I'm sure 27 appreciates it as well. Or I assume it's a joke, right? That you're saying you're saying like a plane is also a computer. Tietokone, right? That's the word for a computer. It literally an information machine. So a flying computer. Lento tietokone. But yeah. Turku. Turku. Or like the neighborhood of Töölö. How would you say that? And I can't even pronounce it properly in Finnish. How would I try to explain to somebody that they need, oh yeah, you should go check out Etu Töölö. Tula. there's no way. It's just intranslatable. Intranslatable. I guess it's not a translation. It's just you can't inapproximatable. Okay, it was meant as a joke, Poyu. It's like I was proud of myself for getting the joke, but then I realized that maybe this isn't an actual word for something, and I'm seeing a joke where maybe there wasn't one, but I'm glad I got it. Okay, where were we? Suomi päätti jo vuonna 2021 ostaa. Oh, wait a second. Do I have to say this a weird way? Do I have to say this a weird way? Or can I just say it the normal way? 64, right? How would you have to say like kuuden kymmenen neljän? Is neljän a word? I don't know. But yeah. Suomi, Finland decided already in the year 2021 to buy 64 of these type, whatever this is, fighter jet from the US. Moni toimi hävittäjä. Oh wait, what? What was that? Multi-role fighter jets. Okay. Hankkeen kokonaisarvo on noin 10 miljardia euroa. Yeah, not partitive no, but the euros are. Oh, so instead of wait, so I'd have to say kymmentä? No, that wouldn't make sense. This is just kymmenen, right? It's just, but yeah, the euros are partitive. This word, euroa. 64 was correct. Thank you, Polju. And hey, welcome in, Juha. How are you? Good to see you. Onko asunnossasi kylmä? Is it cold in your apartment? Is that what you're saying? It's not too cold. No. We've had some really cold weather here in Finland. But no, my apartment's not too cold. One of the things I like about apartments in Finland is that they're well insulated, and they usually, maybe there's exceptions, but I feel like everywhere I've lived has been really, really good. What, F-35, a flying computer with flying characteristics of a turkey? Wait, what? I don't know if I understand the turkey reference, except that it's an American bird. But yeah, 10 billion euros. Wait, is this million or billion? Obviously it has to be billion, as one of you said earlier. The total order for all of these was around 10 billion euros. Because a million is miliona, and a billion is miliardi, right? I'm trying to think what other languages. I think French does that as well. For a milliard, a billion. I like the word billion. It's like you go from the M for million to the B for billion, right? To the T for trillion. It's like M is one, B by bicycle, two, trillion, try, three, quadrillion. It's consistent in English. All right. How about that? English is more consistent than Finnish. Billion used to mean a million, like in Finnish. Oh, oh, that's okay. That's really interesting. Actually, you know what? I have a tab open here. If you were, we were wondering about the origin of silver lining in one of the Stardew streams, and so I had this here. But let's look up the word billion in English. From the French, uh, and it means 2+ million. A million. Because a billion now just means 1,000 million, right? Which is subsequently altered in French to 1,000 million and picked up in that form from the US, due in part to French influence after the Revolutionary War. France reverted to the original meaning in 1948. So wait, you can't do that. You can't influence us and then change your mind. You can't go back. What the heck, France? British use is truer to the etymology, but US sense is to be increasingly common there in technical writing. For a time in Britain, Gillion, based on giga, was tried as 1,000 million to avoid ambiguity. Compare milliard. Wait, is this actually what they say in the UK? A milliard is 1,000 million. A word made necessary by the double meaning of billion. It became familiar in English in news coverage of the indemnity paid by France to Germany after the War of 1870-71. Hold on a second, though. Because a billion is just one step up from a million. And then the next, like when you add 3 zeros, you just go million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, whatever. Why? Like mathematicians, come on. Look, I just want the way that I grew up saying it to be the correct and the oldest and truest, purest, correctest way. Is that too much to ask? But yeah, Billions was a TV series. I never watched it. I started watching what's the show on Apple TV? Severance. When I was in the US, I watched the first like 3 episodes of Severance and really liked it. But I don't have an Apple TV account. So I haven't continued, but I don't know. I might sign up just to finish I don't know, the first 2 seasons. Is the second season out completely? because it was a good show. Or I mean, at least the beginning, I was really hooked with the characters and the very, very cool concept. I like science fiction stories like that. Like that, it feels like a story that was written by like Philip K. Dick. It has that kind of energy to it. Would be nice if it was kilo plus a million. Kilo miliona. Yeah. But hey, Vlad, welcome in. Good to see you. You only got a couple episodes into season two, Lorelai, but it wasn't the show's fault. Okay. Wait, Poyu's come in here. MI means one in million. We have one set of 6 zeros. BI means two, so two sets of 6 zeros makes sense. But wait, two sets of 6 zeros. How much is that actually? Is that a quadrillion? Right? Because wait, it would be a million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. I think. Wait a second. Wait. No, million, billion, it would be a trillion, right? Because you already have two sets at a million. You add one more set, it goes up to a billion or a milliard or whatever you want to freaking call it. And then the fourth set of 6 zeros would then be a trillion. So you're telling me that you want to call a trillion a billion? Now I am actually I'm getting political about this. All right. I'm ready, I don't know, to draw a line in the sand. uh, okay, 10 to the power of 12 is called a trillion, but billion makes more sense to you, Poyu. It makes more sense if you take a very narrow view of these prefixes, but I'll allow it in the stream, all right? Okay, hold on. Let's finish this out. Where were we? Oh wait, I kind of messed this up. Honkain. What the? Oh, the total value of the project. Okay, we had that word earlier. Puolustushankkeita. Defense projects, plural, right? Yeah, defense projects of the Eastern EU countries. And yeah, the total value, kokonaisarvo, on noin 10 miljardia euroa, 10 billion euros, the total value of the project. Texasissa oli myös puolustusministeri Antti Häkkänen. In Texas was also the Minister of Defense, Antti Häkkänen. Hän sanoi, että hävittäjäratkaisu on onnistunut. He said that the fighters something on onnistunut has been celebrated. What is ratkaisu? Maybe he's talking about like the after party. Like they went to the celebration and now there's an after party and he's like, yeah, I'm sure that's got to be it, right? No. He said that the fighter jet solution has been successful. It has succeeded on onnistunut. Onnistua, to succeed. I just saw onni and thought of luck and like good fortune because it's like you say onnea when you say congratulations, onnea. That's why I was thinking like I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. I'm sorry. I'm yawning. I'm so tired. Anytime now he'll be ranting how Fahrenheit makes more sense than oh my god, Vlad, do not even get me started. I'm used to Celsius, but that does not mean I am subdued. That I have been domesticated into the false belief that somehow Celsius is more true to nature or some nonsense because, oh, water freezes at 0 and boils at 100. Guess what? That's not true. Water freezes and boils at different temperatures depending on the pressure. So, and also on what's in the solution. When you add salt to water, oh, it doesn't boil at 0 degree or whatever, 100 degrees anymore. Riddle me that. So your Celsius paradigm is a bit ridiculous. All right. And why would we need to use a scale based on the arbitrary transition in state for what a molecule of water? Like, why would that be our scale? Right? If you really think about the daily use of temperature degrees, arguably it's more useful in Fahrenheit to talk about degrees because you have a smaller degree, right? So you can be more precise when you're like 75, 76 degrees, 77 degrees. Also, the Fahrenheit scale was based off of practical use of like human body temperature, which is very close to 100 degrees. It's not that difficult. 32 degrees is 0. That's where water freezes. And also, here's an advantage of Fahrenheit. You don't have to deal with negative degrees as much because it's arguable it's more useful to have freezing temperatures that are still positive degrees. So you don't have to convert and do, I don't know, negative numbers. You can just be like, it's 10 degrees outside, which in Celsius is negative whatever. I don't know. Negative 10, negative 12. Look, I'm not a die-hard Fahrenheit fan because I kind of switch between the two. In warmer temperatures, I understand Fahrenheit better. In colder temperatures, I understand Celsius better. But that's just the context of where I've lived, Texas and Finland. But I will not tolerate the slander against my beloved Fahrenheit. All right? There are funny translations to Finnish about how many dollars Scrooge McDuck owns. 5 multibilliona. Wait, what? 9? Or I guess I should say the numbers in Finnish. 9 absurdiona. 7 fantastriljoona. And yeah, what is this? 16 penniä. Is a penny is a penny, right? So it's like a very precise, a very high number, but also with extreme precision down to the penny. It just happens to be very, very close to 7 fantasy trillions. Blame France for our measurements. You read Vlad's comment about Tyler ranting soon, then went to the toilet, and by the time you returned, sure enough, you look. I will rant as often and as much as I like. I would like to remind you all this is my live stream. This is my world, and you are lucky to live in it. This is a dictatorship here, all right? And also, I would like to point out that I am being baited, and I am falling for it. Okay, but there's also a degree of satisfaction I get out of indulging in a rant. We all need a good rant from time to time. There's a thing called the decimal system. But I mean, wait, but the Fahrenheit follows the decimal system. I'm not, you know, we use degrees with whatever in decimals. Oh yeah, Kelvin. Look, I don't know about Kelvin. It's just the absolute zero, right? Well, Kelvin is useful as a scale because it gives us an absolute zero, whereas like Fahrenheit and Celsius don't use that. Because you could argue maybe Kelvin's the one we should be using, right? Because at least there's absolute zero. I look, I'm just trying to be a good host here, Vlad. I'm not procrastinating. I'm just reading and responding to comments in a very kind, diplomatic, thoughtful manner. But I'm not going to allow disrespect towards the Fahrenheit system. That- that's my hill I'm dying on, at least today. At least for today. We are back, not on track, Lorelei. Exactly. Penny as in marca. So in the Finnish system prior to the euro, you had a penny as like I guess a 1/100th of a mark. Maybe like if a mark was a dollar, penny would be a penny. Oh, and by the way, they stopped printing or minting pennies in the United States, which they should have done a long time ago because nobody wants to use pennies in the US anymore. But and it costs the US government millions of dollars every year to make pennies because they're worth less than the metal that they're minted on. Tyler lives in a country where at 0 degrees happens quite radical change in the surroundings, but still defends Fahrenheit. It's all a matter of perspective, right? How important is it to be at zero when you could still be operating just fine in positive degrees? Because I lived in New Hampshire prior to living in Finland, and there it's even colder than it is here, at least in Helsinki. Up in Lapland, maybe it gets colder, but like New Hampshire's super cold in winter. I remember it was minus 33 Fahrenheit one day. And that's very close to where the scales intersect. And minus 40 is the same temperature in Fahrenheit and Celsius. And it would and it's fine. Because okay, here's the thing. Zero negative degrees in I almost said in Finnish, but in Celsius aren't that big of a deal. But negative degrees in Fahrenheit, that's a big deal. That's really, really cold. I feel like what is that in Celsius? Is that it's like minus 18 or something like that? I don't know. Okay. I don't want to read about sexual crimes. Oh, wolf. Let's read about the wolf law. Susilaki, the wolf law. But absolute zero is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Why do I feel like it would be more than that? That doesn't like minus because like 200 degrees Celsius is like what you put your oven on, you know? It surprises me that minus zero, or sorry, not absolute zero, is only minus 273. Do we live that close to 0 Kelvin? I guess we're a cold, I guess relatively speaking, in terms of all the matter in the universe, like all the stars are at much higher temperatures. Yeah. A euro was about 6 marka in 2002. The Yonnes. Wait, wait, I forget. I feel like I've heard this joke. Yonne. What do you mean the Yonnes don't remember because they weren't born in 2002? Yonne. Is that like slang for something? I feel like I've heard that. Yonne. In Finnish, uh, well, yonne is an adverb meaning to wear. Oh, internet slang. Here we go. A stereotypical teenage boy that consumes an unusual amount of energy drinks. I swear to God, what is with children and energy drinks? I was not like that, except when I was even like, as a preteen, there was this one beverage called Surge, and I was obsessed with it. And it was basically an energy drink. Like if you can imagine Mountain Dew times 10. That's what we had, Surge. And I also saw a Surge can at the Dallas airport. Uh, of course, in Dallas, in the international terminal, they have a monument to Coca-Cola inside the terminal with these display cases, like you're in a museum. But instead of seeing actual artifacts from like ancient Egypt or whatever, you instead are presented with 1990s paraphernalia of like Coca-Cola stuff. And one of the things was a can of Surge. Um, I would love to drink Surge again, just for the nostalgia, the flavor. It would really bring me back. And when I was a teenager, we did not have energy drinks. But then again, I also grew up in a bubble of like really good kids, I guess. Very straight-laced children. But yeah. But yeah, intergalactic space is close to absolute zero. In Finland, we know we live near absolute zero. It's not too bad. But hold on a second. Thanks for mentioning that word, Yonne. You started drinking energy drinks, Lorelei, that taste like soda. 27, you had the battery drink. Wait, did they discontinue that drink? I feel like it was in the news. I feel like we saw it on stream together. We read the news when there's some energy drink in Finland that got canceled or that shut down. And Finnish teenagers were going into the stores and leaving like it was a like they were leaving like flowers, like it was what a ceremony for the dead. I went to beat the local kids for making too much noise. I am totally becoming an old man like that. I saw in the news this morning that a good number of Finns signed a citizens initiative to ban fireworks in Finland. And I was like, hell yes. Hell yes. Even though, and I can admit, fireworks don't bother me that much personally. I just don't like them existing. They're dangerous. They're like, it's always kids that end up getting like hurt the most, you know. I people's eyes get damaged or their hands, they lose fingers and stuff. It's like, it's crazy. And actually, I remember as a kid looking back on it, I'm surprised at how much I got to play with fireworks as a kid. Like, I think I had fireworks too much as I think the access I had to fireworks was too much. I mean, not though. Granted, it wasn't like we were playing with fireworks every day, but on like July 4th in the U.S. Independence Day, it was a big deal. And my relatives in Louisiana, they're insane. July 4th is insane. You would never be able to ban fireworks in Louisiana. Louisianans worship fireworks. Like it basically is a god to them. And yeah, it's I mean, I've never seen fire like literally they shut the streets down and the streets just become firework launch sites. And people literally build fireworks like launcher systems uh out of like PVC pipes. And they have all the PVC pipes and then they're like dropping fireworks in there and they're shooting up. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then the next day, there is so much paper and dust and ash just raining down that you have to go out and sweep. Everything is covered in like a layer of soot from how many fireworks were exploded. It's not healthy. But then again, Louisiana is not known for being healthy. Don't tell a person from Louisiana to be healthy. All right. It's just not part of their culture. It's really uh like or at least it's not that they wouldn't want to be healthy. It's just that's not really what is it? A pivotal point on which they will be moved or persuaded, I guess. But yeah, I saw that. I'm an old man. We need to get those yonnes and we gotta stop them from blowing up all the fireworks. That's right, 27. I'm an yeah. No, I'm an old man. But yeah, it's also obviously bad for the environment. It's bad for our pets. Dogs are very disturbed by the fireworks. Um, but yeah, like I feel like okay, fireworks can still be set off, but it needs to be regulated, and only people who have a special permit should be allowed to do it. Like I feel like I think it would still be good to have firework displays, but the only those that are arranged by the municipality. Not like, oh, casual fireworks that you can light in your hand and throw around or whatever, right? That's that's no. I don't think we should have I don't they're explosives. Okay, I'm ranting. I'm raving. More on the ranting, not so much on the raving. Let's do this the wolf law. Oh, is this gonna trigger me into a rant? God, can we just stop killing animals? Hopefully this is a law that protects the wolves and isn't what I heard recently about all the permits that are being issued for killing wolves. Let's see. Let's read. Lopuksi uutinen metsästyslaista. The last piece of news is about the forest laws, forestry laws, or hunting. Oh yeah, because I know the word for hunting uses metsä in it. So maybe it's like hunting laws. Here, let's look in English. Yeah, hunting law, singular. Okay, so I thought it was laws because there's an I, but the I is there because the K disappears. So instead of being lakista, it's laista. Yeah. Yonne grew up. No such luck. Oh no, last time you checked, they killed almost all of this year's wolves. God. Like, did we learn nothing? Like, aren't wolves like a cornerstone species for the ecosystem? Yeah. Uusi laki salli suden metsästämisen. The new law close. How do I feel like this is close, but it's not? I don't know what this is. A verb. It does something about the hunting of wolves. It allows, the new law allows wolf hunting. Wow. Way to go, Finnish government. Way to pass a law that's just objectively bad. Eduskunta on hyväksynyt niin sanotun susilain äänin 135 to 35. However you say that in Finnish. Look, it's getting we're past the 1 hour mark. I usually only stream for an hour, and we're in bonus territory, so I'm taking it easy on myself. But yeah, Parliament has approved or accepted niin sanotun. The vote on the wolf law, or by a vote of 135 to 35. Parliament has approved the so-called Wolf Act. Niin sanotun, the so-called susilain, or susilaki, the wolf law, by a vote. Oops. Susi ei ole enää täysin rauhoitettu ympäri vuoden. The wolf is no longer täysin I don't know, something. Rauhoitettu. I don't know. Ympäri vuoden. What? My brain is running on empty. The wolf is no longer completely protected year-round. Okay. Ympäri vuoden means year-round. It is no longer completely täysin rauhoitettu, protected. Wait, laki on ihan susi. The law is quite a wolf. What? And Lorelai, okay, sulke is or sulkea is to close. Sallia is to allow. Oh my gosh, what is this? Satta kolme. This was earlier. Thank you for this, Polju. Satta kolmekymmentäviisi. 35. No viva. Even though there is a viva in here, you don't say the viva. Yeah, 135, 135. Oh, if something is a wolf, it is awful. So the law is pretty awful. That's it. Yeah, that's an interesting expression. Something is a wolf, a bad thing. Maa- ja metsätalousministeriö määrännyt, kuinka paljon susia saa metsästää eri alueilla. What is this? It's like the Earth and Forest Economy Minister. There's got to be an official title in English for this, but whatever. Määrännyt. I thought this just means amount. But is this also a verb? Kunka. Wait, what is kunka? I know kuinka. Kunka. A lot of wolves got hunted in different areas. Cuenca, it's a typo. Thank you. Thank you, Lorelai. And mara comes from the verb marata. Metsatalos. If you want to make the distinction, you can add puolesta and vastaan after each number of votes. Okay. For and against. Puolesta, vastaan. Okay, hold on. Let's translate. The Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry now determines how many wolves can be hunted in different areas. Okay. Mara is determines. Oh, and I said minister, but ministeria is the ministry. So the whatever the body, the organization or agency. The bureau, as we would say in America. We don't have ministries and ministers. We don't dabble in your witchcraft, your Harry Potter magic. You know, we are salt of the earth Americans. We have bureaus, okay? And agencies. A ministry. What are you? Like a religious cult? We use Fahrenheit. Good old fashioned Fahrenheit, baby. Yeah, you can't properly chill Coors Light in Celsius. It just doesn't work. All right. Coors Light can only be properly consumed in degrees Fahrenheit. But yeah. uh and also it's like why are we hunting wolves again? The last like wolf attack, I think it was like in the 1800s. It's like they don't attack people. And I'm sorry, but farmers just need to suck it up. Like I thought farmers were tough, but they're the ones that are like, "Oh no, we have to go kill wolves." No. I mean, it doesn't say here, but I feel like I remember hearing that it's because of farmers and people with livestock, which itself is also kind of effed up. Raising animals for food is pretty messed up. So I'm against the whole affair. Let the wolves live. Let us give back to nature and give it space to be wild and free. FBI, full blown insanity. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, of course, I can understand in some cases where it's like you have to you have to have some protective measures in place. But the default option shouldn't be that you just go out and kill animals. Like that to me seems like that is the most ridiculous. Like that's like the nuclear option. Like why not find a way to coexist? But man, I feel like farmers will complain about anything. Like stop being such babies about it. Like aren't you the ones that you guys claim to be, close to earth and close to nature, but you're the first ones to like exploit it for your own personal gain and profit? Like, come on. That's not closeness. That seems like a toxic relationship with Mother Earth, if you ask me. All right. I'm not saying you can't make a living off of it, but like, geez. But that's my take. I want the wolves to live. You know, how many million humans do we have in Finland? How many wolves? It's not even close. I think this honestly, the number of wolves we have is probably like this. We probably, you know, Jesus, bring back the wolves. But yeah. Oh wait, I totally forgot to play the background music. You guys can probably only barely hear it. I keep it low. But yeah. And yeah, the bears. I mean, it is kind of crazy. When I was doing some research about some of the animals in Finland, it's been relatively quite recent that we've introduced protective measures. And it used to be even worse, where the government actually paid people to go out and kill, for example, certain types of owls. I think it was the eagle owl that was hunted like crazy in Finland. It was just one of those things where like people thought they were pests, and so the government would pay people to kill them, and it was pretty, yeah. The senseless killing of animals is something that really upsets me, and something that it seems like, in my view, such low-hanging fruit for us as humans to improve on. Okay, compensate the farmers or whatever if they lose a sheep every once in a while. Like, if that's the price we pay for having wildlife, gladly we should pay it, right? I don't think we should be cheapskates where that's concerned. But like, the solution shouldn't be that we crowd out all of the biodiversity. But yeah, and the lynx almost went extinct. Honey on your ears, Yuha. You like the music? Okay, good, good. This is like I'm so used to it. This has been the background track. I mean, since for years now that we've been doing the Finnish Learn Finnish with me live streams. But it's from the upcoming video game Haunted Chocolatier by Concerned Ape, who is the creator of Stardew Valley. Probably my all-time favorite video game. Certainly by hours played, I can't think of any other game I've played more than Stardew Valley. So I really love the game. I love the music, and it's really calming background music. So I'm glad I haven't gotten tired of it, and no one else has, so I'm gonna keep it. Yeah. Honey on my ears would not be a pleasant experience for me personally, Yuha. That would be quite sticky and gross. I think there is a mixed metaphor here. We would typically say music to my ears, but it also doesn't really work, because if something literally is music, it could be bad music. I don't know. I'm getting carried away. But yeah. F-35 fighter jets and Wolf Law. That's what we learned about today. Let me see if I can say a few sentences in Finnish. We're going to finish out strong, no pun intended. Tänään opin I'm trying to say today I learned about and I'm not going to look at the words. I'm going to genuinely try to remember what was the word for fighter. Mikä oli sana fighter? It started with an H, and it was something like, it wasn't hakkari, it was haritäjä. Or was it a havari? Look, okay, I have to look now, because I'm just going to start making up words that... Hävittäjä. Hävittäjä. Okei. Tänään opin hävittäjästä. Tänään opin hävittäjistä. I mean, if I just said it like this, like about the fighter jet, which wasn't really what we learned about. Like, we didn't learn about the specific components of the fighter jet, you know. Hävittäjästä. Is that what I said? Hävittäjästä. But I wanted to say this because I learned more generally about fighter jets. Tänään opin hävittäjistä. Suomi Suomi osti 64 hävittäjää. Hävittäjätä? Ei. Hävittäjää. Lorelei says, no idea what you even tried to say. Welcome to my world. I feel like Finnish is a one-way street for me. People can speak Finnish to me, and I may or may not understand. But if I try to say anything back, people are just confused. Suomi osti 64 hävittäjää. Hävittäjät on esitelty Texasissa. Esiteltiin. On esitelty. That's what I said. Texasissa. Look. There you go. Big fat liar is Tyler. What, you're calling me out? Okay. So you're calling me out, but in a very kind way, Juha. That actually you've heard me speak Finnish on stream and it's passable very much. Thank you. But yeah, maybe whatever I said earlier, just Lorelei couldn't understand. To be fair, I don't always speak clearly. And I think part of the problem is sometimes I start a sentence, but I then can't finish the sentence because the words I have in English, I can't remember how to translate. But this is the challenge for this year with Finnish, is to push myself into that uncomfortable state of like literally changing my thoughts from English to Finnish at the speed of talking, right? At the speed of thinking even. And that's something I've never been able to do because, like I said, Finnish is a one-way street because the way I practice it is very one way. I read the news and translate. I don't often repeat back what I learned based on what I can remember. So yeah, this is a step in that direction. And I can do a lot more when I'm not on stream, just so you know. When I'm on stream, I ramble and, I'm reading chat. But when I'm just by myself and I'm studying, and practicing and talking out loud, there have been a few times when I've impressed myself with how much I've been able to read and respond and recap from the news, that I'm like, man, you guys would be so proud of me. Why can't I do this well when I'm on stream? But it's just the dynamic of, I don't know, trying to entertain you guys at the same time as well, and entertain myself. Because if I wasn't having fun doing these streams, I wouldn't keep doing them, right? How many years will it be when we get, I think I started in the summer of, like, was it 2022? Probably around there. Or maybe I didn't start consistently then. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I did start doing it in streams. Yeah, Lorelai, you're saying you missed the Finnish speaking time, where I would put a timer and then I would have to talk. That's a good practice. Maybe we should do more of that as well. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Lorelai. Yeah, Lorelai is OG. You were here when I did the Duolingo streams. Some of you also might have been there as well. I think 27 was for sure there. When I did the speed run, that's how this whole thing started, by the way. I didn't set out to do Finnish language live streams. I did a Duolingo Finnish speed run, and a bunch of people watched it, where we just tried to go through Duolingo Finnish as fast as we could. And it took how many hours? I want to say it was like 20 hours or 24 hours total. Of course, we did take breaks. Like, I did sleep. It wasn't a non-stop stream. I think it was over like a weekend or a week that we did it. It was a lot of fun. Where is this week's Tolkien lecture? 027. Thank you for reminding me. I have been listening to The Lord of the Rings on audiobook. I am at the part where I just finished book 3, so the first half of the Two Towers, and really enjoyed that. And just now started with Frodo and Sam and Gollum as they're crossing. Is it the Emyn Muil? And yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a lecture prepped at the moment, but I'm sure I could think of one given enough time. Have I abandoned Duolingo altogether? I have not, Vlad. I actually still practice on Duolingo almost every day some Swedish. I started doing Swedish. Was it last summer? I started practicing on there, and that's been good because I do also want to learn Swedish. So I've been doing that on the side. And sometimes I practice Swedish more intentionally outside of Duolingo. I like to listen to the Swedish version of Selko-Uutiset. What is it called? It's like nyheter. Is that the word? Something let nyheter or something. It's like light news. I don't know this. I don't know Swedish. All right, don't expect me to speak words, but I do notice how different Finnish Swedish sounds from Swedish. It's like, yeah, it's a big difference. To me, it sounds like it's more different than like American English to British English. I feel like there's slight, like our differences are more about our accents, and maybe a few letters are slightly different, but not completely different. Swedish makes really weird whooping sounds. and the vowels are super bouncy. And Finland Swedish is much calmer and more articulated. It makes more sense to me the way Finnish Swedish is pronounced. So I try to listen to the Finnish Swedish, because if I don't, that literally is the only way I know how to learn Finnish Swedish, is by watching the news, the easy news. Lättvenska, is that the word for it? Because if you use Google Translate or Duolingo, it only gives you pronunciations in the Sweden Swedish, which is fine. It's probably good to learn both, obviously, but yeah, there's some weird pronunciations with certain letters like SK, SKJ. I don't know what is going on in Swedish or what happened, who hurt the Swedish language, but it makes some weird noises when you combine those letters together. But yeah, Yuha, you're kind of new to the streams. Well, good. You were watching the vlogs back in the day. But I totally get it that like the vlogs and the streams are totally two different types of content. But Poyu, you were late to the game when it comes to the streams. You don't know why. I think part of it is also like streams are more of an investment, and you also really have to like the streamer. Whereas videos can be a bit less, I don't know. They can be quicker and more entertaining and more bite-sized, so they're more readily available. And I don't think YouTube advertises the streams as much as the videos. Yeah, Lorelai, you don't know if it was Reddit or YouTube that led you to the channel of some weirdo kissing coffee. That's my legacy. Be careful of what you do on the internet, people, because you never know. You make a random ass grocery store video that blows the F up, and now you'll never, like, I don't want to say I'll never have a bigger impact than that video, but I'm also okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, that was just something that happened, but now people are like, oh, you're the guy that kissed a coffee bag in a grocery store and who did a dance in a forest. Look, I was going through a time of my life. It was a very creative, I had a lot of creative energy, okay? And I don't regret it. Like, I had a lot of fun making those videos. I think it comes through in the video. I think that's also what made my videos, why people subscribed, is because I was clearly having so much fun just being a fool. I mean, but not like a douche, you know, or not like, I don't know, a reckless fool, but like just being very playful and silly. I think a lot of people like that. I think there's also something Finnish people appreciate about it, because yeah, there's something about, in Finland, people are more reserved and etc. I don't know if introverted is maybe the right word, but for someone to show up in Finland and just to be so silly and extroverted and, you know, a lot of people liked it, but also I think people hate watched it as well, right? Some people watched it because it was cringy to them. Other people watched it because it was inspiring. Whatever the case, a lot of people watched that, at least that grocery store video. That was, yeah. But yeah, Yuha, who is the reader that you're listening to? I always listen to the Rob Inglis version of Lord of the Rings, though I would like to get the Andy Serkis version. Andy Serkis was the actor who played Gollum. So it would be interesting to read or to listen to his version. You used to be a VOD person, Lorelai, and now you're spamming in my chat. No, no worries. 2016 sucked. The good old times. 2016 was such a good year. Such a crazy year. It was also difficult at times. Okay, Vlad here is saying, I should do the end of stream dances like I did in the end of my videos. I don't know about that. It is true. The world probably does need more dancing, you know? Yeah, that's also the case, Lorelai. You're right. Somebody said something about Finland, and we are curious. That is, I remember someone telling me that before I even started my channel, which was that Finnish people are very interested in hearing what non-Finnish or foreign people think of Finland. And that definitely drove a lot of the traffic to my videos in those years. I think also because I was quite early, and this was before any of the Instagram Reels, TikTok, and all that. Because even when I go on Instagram, I feel like there are so many people now posting about, oh, life in Finland, and here are the keys to happiness in Finland. I mean, even like Finland, I don't know, like tourist organizations and whatever are posting in this way. They are, but nobody was doing it when I was starting. There were a few people. There were a few other people before me, obviously, but it wasn't quite. And I don't know. Yeah, there just wasn't as much content. Finnish people were hungry for it. So yeah, the videos were well placed. Yeah, you felt so much existential dread back in 2016. Yeah. At least at the end of 2016, I did. Yeah. But yeah, I'll say what I really liked about 2016 was the summer of Pokemon Go. It's hard to believe that it will be 10 years ago this summer that Pokemon Go came out. That doesn't seem like it was that long ago. But yeah, 2016 was such a fun summer with everyone going out and playing Pokemon Go. It was just, yeah, it was a fun time. Maybe it's also, I'm noticing I'm getting older too, because in 2016, I was very inspired by a lot of internet creators. And now a lot of those internet creators have moved on. Like either they don't make videos anymore, they make very few videos. Like you don't realize the moment you're in until it's gone. You know, like that sometimes it just feels like forever. Like of course they're gonna keep making videos, but at some point they might not, you know? Or their videos might change in a way that is just different now. So yeah, I don't know. 2016 just had a vibe, and I really enjoyed it. I was also, that year was when I was teaching. I had the best students. It was amazing. I loved teaching. My I think honestly, part of maybe the majority of the success of my YouTube videos was because of my students. First of all, because they gave me irrational self-confidence. Because I had so much fun teaching and being goofy with them at school, I felt so empowered to like embrace that in my videos. So I wasn't self-conscious. And I do also think my students helped spread my videos and get early traction. I don't know 100% like if that really is true, but I'm pretty sure a good number of my students were watching the videos and sharing it and sending the video. Maybe, I don't know if they were posting. I didn't really follow or check online places like Reddit or whatever if videos were posted there, but like I bet some of my students shared and they're like, oh, this is my English teacher. He started a vlog. So yeah, that they definitely played an important role in that, the origin of my channel. And I still have some students who show up in chat. And it's nice to see them. But yeah. Welcome to becoming old, says Vlad. There's a ton of things that, quote, happened a couple years ago, when in reality it happened 10 to 20 years ago. Like, that's tough for me. Maybe it's not that tough, like, relatively speaking. I feel like I'm very lucky that I'm still very healthy physically, mentally. You know, I don't feel like I have a lot of obvious signs of aging, I guess. So I'm lucky in that sense. But I do think about how, man, I'm getting old. Like, and how like more years have passed like since I graduated school. Like, you know, like I was 18 when I graduated high school. And now I've lived over 18 years, almost 20 years. And that's really weird. That's weird. Yeah, you were in ninth grade in 2016, 27. Then you could have been one of my students. You would have been the right age because I taught ninth grade in high school, 2015, 2016, that academic year. I did also actually teach high school a bit more with mentor teachers in 2016 to 2017. I was still in Finland then, doing my teaching, whatever qualifications. Yeah, last year was 2021, right? I want to be honest and admit I never registered 2025 as a year. I never properly registered it and thought like, oh, we're at the beginning of 2025. Oh, we're halfway through 2025. It's just like, it just happened. I don't know. But maybe that's also one of my other goals this year, is to set more like short-term goals so that I can register the year more and have like different seasons of like, that's when I was working on this thing or doing that thing. Because I feel like, you know, at least with school, when you're in school, it naturally fits into the calendar, you know, mentally. But I don't know. And when you're not in school anymore, it's harder. Everything is harder when you're not in school. Yeah, Yuha, I remember you mentioning you love the Rob Inglis. I was gonna say translation, but no, it's the reading, the audiobook. You've been listening on loop Lord of the Rings and Hobbit since 2019 on 0.8x speed. So he's extra calm and soothing. Good. How many times do you think you've listened to it all? But I don't know if I've listened to it every year, but for the past like 5 years, I've probably done most of the years. Probably have done 3 or 4 years, at least 3 years. But yeah, Vlad, you found my videos back when the YouTube algorithm was suggesting them. And that is such a crazy thing that happened, that I made videos that the algorithm picked up. I had no idea any of that was going to happen. I didn't plan for it. I didn't expect it. But it is kind of hilarious that it reached all these people. Yeah, and the grocery store video was the first one for you as well, 27. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, we are approaching my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. I mean, I've had my YouTube account longer than 10 years, but my first video was uploaded, I believe, March 30th of 2016. We're approaching 10 years. That's crazy. Yeah, Lorelai. I also noticed on YouTube that they on the left side, there's no longer a proper tab for subscriptions. It says subscriptions and it will show some of like whatever the people you're subscribed to, but it's like you have to click on it in a way that doesn't look like you should be able to click there, or they changed it. Yeah, I'm so sad with the direction that the algorithms have gone, favoring short form content and everything. Like, it's, yeah. Like, obviously, we shouldn't spend too much time watching YouTube videos, but I will say, if I go on a YouTube binge, I feel less bad about it afterward than doing an Instagram binge, right? And those shorts are really messed up. The content that I'm getting shown, I'm like, I think there should be more laws stopping this. Like, the number of car wrecks I have witnessed now, astronomical. I think there's something about my demographic that the algorithm is like, you want to see a mine collapse in India, or you want to see, and it's like, oh my God, I don't want to see these disasters. There's probably some, like, I don't know, psychological trauma we're experiencing, going from like a cute puppy video, you swipe up, and then a car wreck video, and then you swipe up, and then who else knows what other horrible or inappropriate content is on there that's not being managed. It's because at least with YouTube, I'm following videos within, I don't know, I feel like I'm in control of what I'm watching. Even if I'm seeing all the recommendations, I'm still choosing what to watch. And obviously, yeah, the content that you get on YouTube is going to be better. I should redo the grocery store video 10 years later. Wow. That would be pretty crazy if I did. I don't even know how I would do it. Or we could do a celebration stream. Yeah, maybe. Let me see. I don't want to promise anything, but I do like the idea of maybe doing some kind of celebration. Something that's fun for me without necessarily being too much work. Or like, I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so wow, you've listened 21 times. That's not a nice thing you have going on in the background. Okay, Lorelai, you only receive cute animals. My algorithm is very sinister. I've started to notice. It keeps trying to pull me into horror and true crime and like just things that are really sad and stressful and car wrecks and stuff. It's just like, and I might only watch because I'm curious of like, wait, what's going on? And then the algorithm's like, oh, you watched that? Now we're just gonna keep serving that. But yeah. Oh no, YouTube is recommending industrial accident videos. Yikes, I guess, yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Well, but by the way, guys, it's been fun coming back I should probably end the stream here pretty soon. I tried to stream only for like an hour, but we went a little extra, all right, because we missed a couple streams over the holidays. Though I did one Learn Finnish with Me stream, and the audio was really bad for it, but you know what? We managed. I should have brought my microphone with me. I totally could have. It could have fit in my suitcase, but I thought I would be fine. And yeah, sorry to make you suffer. But yeah, it's good to be back. We're going to be doing our streams. And yeah, if there's a change in the schedule, I'll update you guys on Discord or on the community post on YouTube. And yeah, I'm gonna keep learning Finnish. I'm dedicated. I really want to pass the national language exam. And who knows, maybe now I also have to do a citizenship test. So maybe we'll live stream when the test hasn't even been written yet. So who knows what's going to be on there. But yeah, we will. I'll keep learning. But yeah, try to get to learn Finnish with me part 1000 by the 10-year anniversary date. Well, I'm pretty proud we've made it this far. 145. Yeah, it's a lot, but you know, we're having fun, and my Finnish is improving. So as long as we're consistent and we're building, but I do think there is a point where I need to be more intense in order to make the kinds of strides in capabilities, right? Being able to actually speak Finnish requires a bit more dedication or a different approach than simply, you know, I don't know, the more passive approach I take here. But yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, guys, have a good rest of your Tuesday, the rest of your week. Hope it goes well. And yeah, hope to see you in the next live stream. Goodbye.